Hi, boys and girls. I am loving reading stories to you from home. I'm also loving introducing you to all the pets that I tell you about in class. This right here is Ellie. She is a month younger than Coconut, who is the big cat I showed you in a different story or a different book that I read. Ellie is a long-haired kitty cat, as you can see, and she is a little love. And she is going to be reading or walking around the room while we read the story called Jackson and Auggie, Adventures in the Hudson Valley. And I just want to read to you about the author really quick and the illustrator before we start this book because it's really neat. About the author and the illustrator. Renee Pierce and Caitlin Rufino are sisters who grew up in Monroe, New York. Renee currently resides in Highland Mills, New York, and Caitlin in Pine Bush. Renee is a middle school teacher for Monroe Woodbury for the gifted and talented students, and Caitlin teaches middle school art. Renee and Caitlin wrote Jackson and Auggie Adventure in the Hudson Valley to be used as a teaching tool in addition to entertain. They both were inspired by their parents and their families and the beautiful region of the country in which they and we live. And here is the author and her dog Auggie and the illustrator and her cat Jackson. So this is based on their pets. So I want to read it to you, boys and girls. Jackson and Auggie, Adventure in the Hudson Valley. Now, as you're listening, I want you to see if there's places that you recognize or that you and your family have been throughout the Hudson Valley that are in this story. Auggie and Jackson were cousins, but best friends they were too. Jackson was a young Siamese cat, and Auggie a boxer puppy through and through. They had grown up together in a quaint little town located an hour past New York City. They loved country life. They loved the lake region. Life was perfect for this doggie and this kitty. One summer day, they looked for fun, so off on a walk they went. On and far they traveled. Walking and talking made them content or happy. When far from home they found themselves, it was Jackson who realized they were lost. But Auggie wanted to keep going, so into the next town they crossed. An unexpected adventure has begun. Excited and scared were the two. Never had they been far from home, but this was a chance to see something new. The duo came upon a massive site. Located in Washingtonville is a place called Brotherhood. It's the oldest winery in America, read Jack, a historic place to explore in all likelihood. They joined the tour that had started and learned about the past. They stomped some grapes, sipped some juice, then left feeling silly and sharing some laughs. The journey continued west when they spotted the darkest dirt they'd ever seen. Auggie made a dash to dig while Jackson preferred to stay clean. The dirt was soft and the farmland was rich. When onions are what Auggie found. Pine Island is known for their black dirt. It is the finest for miles around. As north the pair continued to move, Jackson noticed something soaring high. Flying saucers and UFOs are common in Pine Bush skies. Quickly they hurried past, eager to see something new. In Monroe, they discovered cheese was created, Velveeta, not anything blue. They also toured Museum Village, a place that preserves the past. They took a quick stop at Goose Ponds and explored Airplane Park last. The excitement was building with each step they made. A true journey had begun. What would their owners think of this escapade? Auggie's stomach began to rumble, but Jackson decided it was time to shop. They headed towards Woodbury Common, a #1 Hudson Valley stop. Along the Hudson they roamed, till into Cornwall, where they heard somewhere near land Captain Kidd's treasure, according to what a historian said occurred. Cornwall lies on the Hudson River, which was cruised by many long ago. Pirates lost gold was a legend, but where it's hidden, no one knows. Located in Newburgh, a little ways away, is Washington's headquarters, where the first president and his wife had stayed. Strategically located near West Point and with a great river view, the president resided back in 1782. Auggie and Jackson loved this cozy little cottage and decided to rest on the antique bed. It had been a long afternoon, so they napped in the historic homestead. How Auggie and Jack ended up on a boat is still a mystery. They sailed across the river to an old artillery. The castle was crumbling, and Bannerman's Island was spooky. Still, the two friends moved onward. West Point was a great place to sightsee. Auggie and Jackson were enchanted. From the museums to Mitchie Stadium, the military academy and its soldiers are surely second to none. The last place that the Pells wanted to discover and explore was Bear Mountain State Park. It's a zoo, campground, and more. They roamed around the park till they found the infamous carousel. Round and round they rode till it was time to say farewell. After a momentous day, it was time to go home. They missed their families, and Auggie wanted a bone. Paw in paw, they began the trip back. Until the next time, Jack was so tired he needed a piggyback. So that story is really neat because it's about our area and where we live. So were there any parts in this book that you knew? Because I know some of you last week told me you went to the airplane park. And so did Jackson and Auggie in this adventure. Let me know down below, post, and let me know what places did you recognize in this story and where have you been?